chat. In today's edition, we want to talk about two movies that have redefined friendship for modern life to Hindi movies. And as you can hear the song, one of them is Dil Chahta Hai, and the other is Zindagi, Milegi, Dobara. So stay tuned.
दिल चाहता है कभी ना बीते चमकीले दिन दिल चाहता है हम ना रहे कभी यारों के बिन दिन दिन भर हो प्यारी बातें झूमे शामें गाए रातें मस्ती में रहे डूबा डूबा हमेशा
In 2001, there was a movie released called Dil Chahta Hai. That was like a pretty much redefined friendship and kind of a big step for Hindi film industry, where it took away from, it kind of deviated from the classical traditional way of movie making and storytelling to a different way, where it was more modern. Suddenly Indian film felt very modern. So yeah, let's talk about that movie, right? How we like it, what are our memories. It's been a while, 25 years ago, but how did we like it?
Yeah,
what
and also
memories?
movie, it was really connected. We could associate with it so much more because 5 years ago we were also
young, yeah.
much younger, and it felt so good to see like the college friendships come to life on screen like that in a different way. Because it was all about just enjoying your friendship, and there'll be ups and downs, but how you stay connected with each other and keep it going.
And stay true to yourself, right?
Yeah, it was one of those first movies I think that was very refreshing, and then it showed friendship very realistically, because before that it was like a lot of drama, sacrifice, this, that, but here it was like just normal youngsters being friends, having a good time, finding their romantic partners and just the ups and downs. So
The
very
typical challenges,
exactly,
and the
yeah.
ups and downs, and things
We
like
could
that.
relate almost with all the characters there, I think,
Right,
because we were,
yeah.
and the dialogues were like everyday conversation. Right? It was not very heavy or melodramatic or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there were no like divar like dialogues, but everything kind of was. We felt like they could be our friends right, at that time. And so I know Farhan Akhtar, because his first direction. I mean, his debut as a director.
Yeah.
So did a great job, fantastic job, and Amir Khan, Akshay Kumar, Akshay Khanna,
And Saif Ali
and Saif Ali Khan. Three of them did an excellent job, I think. I think overall, definitely it was modernizing. We could feel, how it was very different, and Goa travel picked up quite a bit. I think when people started to feel like just go a long drive, and that's the one way to
even road trips became like a thing, I think, from there.
Really?
Yes,
Absolutely. So, I mean, who do you think? I mean, what is the biggest takeaway for you? Like when you watched, did you feel like anything was? Of course, a lot of great points. Anything that stuck a chord with you specifically?
I think that was the time when we were slowly like sort of losing touch with our college friends, but then Facebook was coming to be, and watching this movie, I think it made me go back and connect with my friends, like I was missing them, and it's like, oh yeah, this is how life used to be when we were in college or just out of college. So I think that was the big thing for me. There was no like big message as such, but I suddenly started craving to connect back with friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
How about you?
Although social media was not there for like a few more years
Yes,
after that.
correct.
But you're right, I know the urge to go back and connect. Because we all got busy with our lives and family, that slowly that we took a backstage.
Correct.
That was nice. Yeah, for me, I think it was just it showed how easy a friendship can be. Like to just go back and connect, like even though they had fallouts in between, the way they just came back, and it felt very natural. I mean, it took a while effort from somebody else, but still when they came back together, it was just like and that's how I feel with a lot of my friends. When I don't see them for a month, but I suddenly when we meet, it feels like not a day has passed.
It doesn't feel awkward at all.
Exactly.
Even after all the years, we feel like. I think there was one the Dimple Kapadia's character, which was very unique. I think I'm not exactly sure what Farhan Akhtar was trying to show, but that's probably another very, again, not as much value is given to such relations which don't really have a name. So kudos to Farhan Akhtar for kind of showing that as a relationship, right?
No, yeah, that's. I mean, it is so true, right? We growing up, we all had infatuations in some form or other, and like there were father figures and mother figures in our life. So it was a topic that is not very commonly addressed in Indian movies, but I think it was a good one to.
Very bold.
Yeah, very bold, and he was an artist, and the way he connects with her, like. And the way she provides the support for him in whatever
very
ways,
gracefully, right? It never felt vulgar at all.
Exactly.
For a second, right?
Correct.
It felt really nice and refreshing, and felt almost like in some part of me was feeling like I hope they have
Something together.
right?
Right.
And then, but yeah, I think the ending was, I think it did justification to the end.
Yeah.
So really like that, and Saif Ali Khan, of course,
Yeah, he
being
was
the
a comic
chocolate boy, I guess. Yeah.
I love this comic timing. It was so awesome. I think I was so glad to see them back in Andaz Apna Apna later.
Yes.
Amir Khan and they were in general. Saif Ali Khan was a great op. He provided a good comedy that the serious scenes needed. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it was
Yeah, and the music, right? I mean, songs.
Oh yeah, they were all very refreshing.
Even
movies,
now,
very-
dance parties cannot go without Dil Chahta hai song.
Correct.
Disco, it's the what's the other song? I'm spacing out, but
Yeah, there is a party
the disco,
song.
yeah, the party song
yeah,
is discotheque, right?
Yeah.
Dil koi kehta hai, koi kehe.
Right.
So yeah, that song. And but then Amir Khan also, they show a big transformation in him, right? Like he's just a playboy, just enjoying his family's fortune that he has, and all. But how he meets Preeti Zinta and how he transforms, he matures in his own journey.
Yes.
So that was another thing that was
definitely.
nice,
I think it was very real. I think until then Hindi movies always had a hero who was almost flawless.
Right.
Everything was perfect, and there were some societal norms, and they always abided by that. And
Yes.
that is how the hero was defined. I think in this movie, really, there is no hero per se, right? Everybody was just real.
Yeah.
So that is what I think we all could connect.
Right.
They had their own flaws. Nobody was perfect, and they had their own issues. And how they dealt with it is what was really, kind of, right, was really attracting, the biggest attraction of the movie, I think.
I mean, it's interesting how I think later, 10 years later, similar chemistry shown in Zindagi Na Milegi, Dobara. I think it's almost like a continuation of their lives in a different characters.
I wish they
right?
used the same characters actually, but I wonder how it would have been.
I know, but then this was more like just coming of age, right? That was just right of college kind of thing. This was not like a lot. This was just before they settled down. So maybe just 5 years or 6 years later.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, technically they could have, I guess, used that. I did. But that brought a different set of like friendship goals to life again.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I think bottom line, I think people have ups and downs in lives and a lot of relations, like family relations, mother, father, sister, all these things. But friends is one unique kind of a category.
Correct.
That kind of is a different, by itself, right? I mean, that can kind of have its own life by itself.
Yeah.
And how you can be yourself with friends, you can't be that kind of self with anybody else in your family, right? So I think these two movies, like you said, Zindagi Na Milegi, Dobara and Dil Chahta, really focused on the friendship aspect. So I think from Zindagi Na Milegi, Dobara, of course, the Spain, right? That was the biggest attraction.
Another road trip, but in Europe this time,
And definitely. And then, like you said, right, it took to a different scale, the whole travel industry and all that, international travel. But I think storyline again similar, where 3 friends kind of have their own ups and downs, their own life going on. They kind of fall apart, life takes on, and then how they come back.
Correct.
And then how they hit things off and help each other kind of surpass their fears or whatever they are, right? It's very well story telling.
Yes, and it's always like you always need a third guy to bring these other two. That third guy can be anybody here,
it's
right?
like an auto rickshaw.
They bring in
friendship.
Exactly. It was very beautifully shown without too much of
I think
drama.
it was also like Dil Chahta was focused in 2001 and it was focusing a lot of the Indian audience. But I think by taking it to Spain, they just totally got an international audience right there. Just you can tell, like, I mean, it was not a very common thing for people in India to travel abroad like that for a family friends reunion, right? So that was a good, it was a nice
Awareness.
thing to
Yeah,
see, awareness,
yeah.
like people do it, and it was generally nice to see
Yeah.
people come up with creative ideas to
Yeah.
be in touch and do fun things.
No,
and,
right? And that was exactly, Facebook was also peak at
yeah, that was
2011.
around when it was more.
And
peaking,
at that
yeah.
time, I think suddenly
Yeah.
people were planning, and actually now we were seeing, right? Like there are a lot of groups for traveling.
Pre-wedding travel.
Travel.
The bachelorettes are happening
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
else and all
yeah.
that.
It
Yeah.
costs like anything, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
and
yeah.
also going on trips with friends
Mhm.
has become big. You know, until
Correct.
then it was always like go to a pilgrimage with family. It was a big
Correct,
thing.
correct, correct.
And this
Friend.
kind of changed the trend where it's just
Boys trip or
boys
girls
trip,
trip.
even
Yeah.
girls trip, right?
Yeah.
So that's also another big thing happening. So yeah, kudos. I guess movies again, like we were talking,
Yeah, yeah.
have big influence on the society, at least in India.
Right.
Correct, correct.
And yeah, this one directorial debut, I think, of
Zoya.
Zoya.
Yeah.
Was it the debut? Okay.
I am not sure about that, but she was the director.
Correct.
And, she's Farhan Akhtar's sister.
Sister.
Right,
Right.
right. At least one of her biggest movies.
Yeah.
I think, and the other thing, both these movies are like almost multi-generation. Like my kids love it, I like it. I think our parents' generation also
Correct.
can enjoy it, whether they relate it to it or
Yeah.
not.
It's quite decent in a way.
Yes,
It
yeah,
was nothing really, and you could relate. I know it was, they were all very rich people. I think some of them at least
Characters, right.
and not normal people. But still, there are aspects of this friendship and those struggles that everybody could associate.
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
Farhan Akhtar having this issue with his father, his
Yeah.
estranged father,
Right.
Nasiruddin Shah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know I think the moral of the story was more prominent in Zindagi Milegi
Yeah.
Dobara compared to Dil Chahta Hai. That was more like just fun, friends,
Yeah,
all that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But here, like especially Hrithik Roshan's character who wants to work until he's like continuously work and then retire to enjoy life. I mean, that's feasible. We talk about it, but it's
correct.
really not feasible, right? And so the way the characters are learning that about themselves and about their life lessons and getting over their fear. huh?
Abhay Deol, the way he's
Yeah.
thinking about marriage and
Yeah.
how the friends help him come out of it.
Yeah,
and all of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the whole YOLO, right? You live only
Yes.
once.
Well,
was
the
like-
movie name says that.
Pretty
right?
much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was a big moment where until then you had to at least even our generation, right? When we were growing up,
Yeah,
Gen
yeah,
X,
yeah.
we were kind of set in our mind oh, this is your definition of success. You need to go study well, then work hard until you're retired, like you're 60 or something, and then you start doing some things. But now this is a new trend where you're
Correct.
saying that is not really. It's up to you. It's your life. You
Yeah.
define how you want to live, and there is no defined way, right? So which is refreshing.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to see a lot of people actually took inspiration from it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I really liked the Abhay Deol situation, the way they showed, because I don't think anybody other than friends can help him realize
Correct.
what he was doing, because with all that hype going on with what his marriage, stepping away from it is a pretty big deal, because there's so many families involved, but only friends could give him
And
the
especially
courage.
when he knew her really well,
Yes,
and from
correct,
childhood they were
correct,
best
correct.
friends, and he was probably afraid to lose that friend
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
process, right?
And hurt the families and all of that. So I don't think any other relation could have helped him as
Right,
much
right.
other than friends.
So yeah, definitely. Any characters you felt like was unnecessary in the movie, or did not
Well,
do justice?
no, not justice, I would say, but Katrina Kaif for me, of course, she was an eye candy to look
Yeah.
at, and then she, of course, was one of the instrumental person helping teach
Hrithik Roshan.
Hrithik Roshan the lesson that he learned. But well, it's a movie, it's a Bollywood movie. What else can you expect? So, an unnecessary character, I am not very sure.
Yeah, I think it was pretty.
Particular,
Yeah, it was pretty to the dot.
Yeah.
To the spot, I think, and I think
They showcased all the characters well, like
Yeah.
in different ways, and each of them come with their own personality.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's
Shows
no
to
single
say that
hero.
the
Yeah.
friendship is made up of all sorts of people.
Correct,
right?
correct,
And that's
correct.
what it is. And
Yeah, it's amazing. Like even no two people are similar in that, right? Personality-wise, each was very unique.
Correct,
And this
correct.
was also to say that typically we think to be friends you need to be alike, right?
Yeah.
This also kind of shows that you don't have to be. In fact, it helps
To be
you have to
diverse,
friends, so
right?
they can
Yeah.
bring out some aspects that you may not be kind of paying attention to.
Right.
Yeah.
It may be irritating on the face, like hey, like that's what happens, right? Hrithik Roshan and Farhan Akhtar, like
Where they throw that phone
yeah,
away.
he keeps mocking. One is too busy, too serious at life, and the
Yeah.
other guy that throws away his phone. So it causes a lot of irritation, but at the end of the day, I think
Yeah.
those are the friends who don't mind taking that hard decision to kind of get into that uncomfortable
Correct.
zone. So you can see that, right? I think-
Actually, that dialogue about hey, when you say sorry, say it, we mean it. That is something, I think that is something I've personally used after watching the movie, I think couple of times. That was like a very, very subtle way of showing that emotion there, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if my kids have watched this movie, but it's a good one to
watch, right? Yeah.
Dil Chahta Hai we watched together.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I like the way they showcase the friendship and makes me want to go on road trips like that with our friends.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. So that's and what do you think? Do you think either of these movies have any value in remaking?
Maybe with a little different lesson, because I think at least the lesson that Zindagi, Milegi, Dobara has showcased, I think it's already a part of the new generation. They will not appreciate it as much.
I think
But something, maybe I would like a movie on friendship like this, but showcasing some sort of family affairs. So like family support or family connections back.
Yeah.
Like how you can rely back on the family. I know, of course, friends are everything. I personally think friends are the greatest. But family support also means a lot, and how we can rely on family also.
I mean, I think Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara can have a sequel. Actually show how those three friends are when in their 50s now, maybe. Like
now
they settle.
So Hrithik Roshan can still come back.
Correct. Yeah.
I see where you're going.
Karan is still playing movies. He was there.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. But we are only. We have to drag him out.
I know.
I don't know where he is.
Where is he all right? Where did
I
he?
used
He
to
doesn't
like
show up as much. Whatever movies he did.
they
We
are
always like them, right? So I don't know why he just comes once in a while and then just disappears.
I know. Maybe this is not his primary profession.
Possible,
I
but
don't
you're
know.
doing great. If you are listening to us, please come back. We really like your style of acting. It makes it very casual and very honest and genuine.
The boy next door. Look.
Sorry?
The boy next door.
Yes.
I think Zoe Akhtar can pull it off. Like bring these three together and see, okay, they're married with kids and then now just bring them together for some reunion or something.
Yeah. Coming to think of it, even Dil Chahta Hai can be easily made again. I think similar plot. Because there was really, like I said, it was just friendship and how they misunderstandings and how they come back together kind of thing.
And to your point, you're right. Misunderstandings is a fundamental thing, and that can happen in family too, right? And we see it all the time, where some small silly thing often is the initial thing that kind of triggers, and then kind of separation
Actually,
happens.
it would be interesting to show that in this whole social media thing, right? Because misunderstanding is a whole different angle nowadays.
I know, and it's officially not true, but I like to think Dil Dhadakne Do as a sequel to Zindagi Milegi Dobara.
Which is true.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly, but somehow it is also again the same family connections. They showcase more family connections and the social media pressures and the society pressures and all that. So I kind of liked how they all come together. The families are disjointed, but how they all understand each other, support and stuff.
I really like I totally agree. I think that is definitely a sequel. Kind of shows the new era of families, where a big
Modern society,
right? Even though there was a so-called traditional family, but the husband and wife are like not talking to each other. They're all only care for how superficial they look, right? I mean, how outsiders look at them. And the son is running after somebody who's dancing in a cruise ship.
Yeah.
The daughter gets married. So it's very much relatable. I think we see families.
Yeah,
like that.
because even though it was a big, I mean, we are talking a completely
That's
different
okay.
movie
We
now.
give one extra bonus movie.
Yeah, but I thought that was a good one for there's not much focus on friendship, but there are some lessons that you can learn from that.
Stay true to yourself, right? I think all of these have that one kind of common thread which says don't get carried away by what others want you to do. You do what you think is right?
Because especially in that movie, Anil Kapoor was the one who is actually he was self-made man and all that. But how he suppresses his daughter, like he doesn't like her to be independent or what will people say? And so things like that were very common though, right?
Like, even now they're very common. I think
So-
because unfortunately, Indian society is still kind of very
I mean,
much.
even the husband, right?
Yeah.
Rahul Bose, like he being that new gen, he has his own bully.
Right.
I think that movie deserves a whole episode of
Correct.
itself.
I think
It's a
so
really
too.
good movie.
Yeah.
And is that Zoe Akhtar? I think that is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Zoe
she's
Akhtar,
Zoe
right?
Akhtar,
yes.
I love her movie.
That's
that
why
one
I
also.
felt like it would be like a sequel.
You
to
could
this.
see a lot of similarities in characters.
Correct.
That's why.
Yeah.
I think, so definitely I think that movie could definitely be a sequel for this, or at least I could see Ranveer Singh or Priyanka Chopra or Anushka. Any of these could be like this young generation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of in the core of this.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our movie edition. So keep watching us and keep giving us your feedback, share your comments, and
Suggest if you have any movies that you would like us to review and talk about.
Yeah.
And until next time, enjoy your chai.
enjoy your chai.